Hi, I'm Daniel Kuykendall from the Survival Summit, and today we're going to be talking about how to make firebugs. Creating fire out in the field is definitely one of the most challenging things, and having little tools to kind of help you out along the way is extremely valuable. And I'm always interested in what is going to give you the best bang for the buck, what's going to be the cheapest, what is going to be the smallest, what is going to be the lightest. And so my favorite out of all of them currently is the firebug. And that is basically just a little piece of cotton, or cotton ball, soaked in some Vaseline. So cotton ball plus Vaseline plus tin foil equal firebug. And this guy will light for a particularly long time. One of my favorite things to carry it in is a film container, for those of you old enough to know what a film container is. Just a little piece of plastic that film used to come in. If you go back old enough, you can find some really cool metal ones. But I fit about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 firebugs in here, and that's enough for about 10 to 20 fires. So what you'll need is going to be some Vaseline, petroleum jelly, some cotton balls, square pieces of tin foil, a fire, or you can use your home stove for this. And so what you do is you start off by dumping in some of this jelly. The really neat thing about the petroleum jelly is when it's in its liquid form, if you have excess in your cup after you're done making your firebugs, you can just pour it right back into the original container and it makes no difference whatsoever. You can continue using it. Alright, so I'm going to put that on our fire here. We're going to give that a few minutes to heat up and turn into a liquid form, and then we'll go ahead and start making our firebugs. Okay, so our Vaseline has had time to melt completely, and so the next step is it's going to take that off the fire. It'll take a little while for it to congeal again, and you're going to take your cotton balls and one at a time put them in there. And I like to use my Weatherman here just to make sure it gets saturated. Once you have the cotton ball nice and saturated, you're going to want to pull it out and get rid of any of the excess Vaseline. Okay. So the fibers are saturated in Vaseline, but we are not dripping with that. So then the next step is you want to put it right on the tin foil, and then just use the tin foil to ball it up into as small of a ball as you can. Now it may still be a little hot, so be careful at this stage, and you're going to have hot Vaseline dripping all over the place. So this is not the cleanest method for fire starting, but it is very, very effective, and it goes a very long way, and it's a very nice thing to have in the field. So there you have it. Now just set it off to the side and let it cool and congeal, and then you're good to go. So as I mentioned before, with the liquid petroleum jelly, you can reuse that at a later date. So I'm just going to pour this cup back into the original container. One word of warning is you do not want to use whatever cup or pot that you use for melting the petroleum jelly for cooking any of your food. So make sure if you get a pot or a cup, designate that as your firebug cup and don't reuse that for cooking. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and demo how to light one of these guys. I'm going to use one that I've made in the past just because it's cool to the touch. Now there's a couple different ways that you can light it. One is you can just pull fibers through the tin foil, and that will allow the petroleum jelly to feed kind of like a wick, and it will last a lot longer. It doesn't burn as hot, but it will last a lot longer. Another method is if you open it up, there it is right there. So that's a one that's been cooled already, and you just separate the fibers out. As I said, the only negative to using this method is it gets messy, and you're going to have Vaseline on your fingers, which can ignite, so you want to be very careful when using this and make sure you draw off your fingers. The more fibrous you get it at this stage, the easier it will be to light using a ferro rod. There we go. Now, as I mentioned before, there's several different ways you can utilize the firebug. One is just pull the fibers apart, easy to light. You don't have to use the entire cotton ball. You can just break off bits and pieces. And so this will burn really well and will light most tinder, even if it's a little bit damp. This firebug right here has been going for a little over 5 minutes. It still has a while to burn. And one of the things that I love about these is that they're almost windproof. So even if a strong wind comes by, your fire starter is going to keep going. There you have it. My favorite in the field fire starter, the firebug. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button below to see more videos like this, and visit us at thesurvivalsummit.com. That's thesurvivalsummit.com.